EI. Okay, where alpha is polarizability of the atom. If so, see this one. For that, to derive the Clausius-Mossetti equation, let us consider the elemental dielectrics having cubic structure like germanium, silicon, okay, carbon, etc. So, since there are no ions and permanent dipoles in these materials, okay, that means those are non-polar dielectric materials. There are no ions and permanent dipoles in these materials. So, we know that ionic polarizability alpha I is equal to 0. Sorry, where alpha is called the ionic polarizability. So, in this kind of materials, the ionic polarizability alpha is equal to 0, and orientational polarizability alpha naught, alpha O is equal to 0. So, there are no permanent dipoles. Okay, so that ionic polarizability is equal to 0 as well as the orientational polarizability is equal to 0. If in this kind of materials only electronic polarizability is there. Okay, further here Clausius-Mossetti equation gives the relation between dielectric constant and the polarizability of atoms. Okay, further, so they exhibit only electronic polarizability. Okay, so you know that there are two kinds of dielectric materials. One is polar dielectrics and another one is non-polar dielectrics. Okay, so to derive the Clausius-Mossetti equation, further let us consider dielectrics having cubic structure, so that there is no ionic polarizability as well as orientational polarizability. They exhibit only electronic polarizability, that is alpha E. So the polarization in that kind of materials P is equal to N alpha E I. Okay, so dielectric moment, dipole moment is mu E, dipole moment mu E is equal to alpha E I, alpha E E I. So here EI is the internal field. Okay, EI is the internal field. So P is equal to N alpha E E I. Since how it comes means mu is directly proportional to E, mu is equal to alpha E. So therefore, if there are n number of atoms are there, then P is equal to N into mu. Therefore, P is equal to N alpha E. Okay. So then substituting the Lorentz field for a local field EI, we get P is equal to N alpha E. So already calculate చేశాం కదా లోకల్ ఫీల్డ్ కి. సో సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ చేస్తే దెన్ E ప్లస్ P బై 3 ఎప్సిలాన్ అన్నాడు. ప్రీవియస్ క్లాస్ లో క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేశాం కదా, లోకల్ ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫీల్డ్ కి ఈక్వేషన్ డిరైవ్ చేశాం కదా, సో సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ చేసాం. సో దెన్ P ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు N ఆల్ఫా E ఇంటూ E ప్లస్ P బై 3 ఎప్సిలాన్ నాట్. దెన్ P ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు N ఆల్ఫా E ఈక్వేషన్. సో మల్టిప్లై చేస్తే N ఆల్ఫా E ప్లస్ N ఆల్ఫా E P బై 3 ఎప్సిలాన్ నాట్. ఓకే, బ్రాకెట్స్ ఈ బ్రాకెట్స్ లో ఉన్న టర్మ్ ని N ఆల్ఫా E తో మల్టిప్లై చేస్తే దెన్ N ఆల్ఫా E ప్లస్ N ఆల్ఫా E P బై 3 ఎప్సిలాన్ నాట్. ఓకే, సో దెన్ ఈ N ఆల్ఫా E P బై 3 ఎప్సిలాన్ నాట్ ని లెఫ్ట్ సైడ్ ఆఫ్ ది ఈక్వేషన్ వైపు తీసుకొచ్చాం. సో దెన్ P మైనస్ N ఆల్ఫా E P బై 3 ఎప్సిలాన్ నాట్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు N ఆల్ఫా E. ఓకే, దెన్ ఈ టూ టర్మ్స్ నుండి P కామన్ తీస్తే దెన్ P ఇంటూ 1 మైనస్ N ఆల్ఫా E బై 3 ఎప్సిలాన్ నాట్, దట్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు N ఆల్ఫా E. Okay, therefore P is equal to polarization P is equal to N alpha E by ఈ టర్మ్ ఇటువైపు వస్తే n alpha e by 1 minus n alpha e by 3 epsilon naught. Already we know that dielectric displacement d is equal to p plus epsilon naught e. Okay, therefore ఇక్కడ నుండి p చూడండి ఈక్వేషన్ ని మాడిఫై చేస్తే దెన్ p is equal to లెఫ్ట్ హ్యాండ్ సైడ్ కి p తీసుకొస్తే p is equal to d minus epsilon naught e. Then p is equal to okay d is equal to epsilon e. ఆల్రెడీ ఇవన్నీ టర్మ్స్ మనం ఇంతకు ముందు క్యాలిక్యులేట్ తెలుసుకున్నవి. d is equal to epsilon e. Then p is equal to substitute చేస్తే d ప్లేస్ లో epsilon e minus epsilon naught e. Therefore p is equal to so epsilon ఎంత ఇక్కడ epsilon is equal to epsilon naught epsilon r. Okay, then substitute చేస్తే epsilon naught epsilon r e minus epsilon naught e. Then epsilon naught కామన్ తీద్దాం ఈ టూ టర్మ్స్ లో. Then p is equal to epsilon naught, then కామన్ తీస్తే as well as e కూడా epsilon naught epsilon into epsilon r minus 1 into e. Therefore equating these two equations 1 and 2. Okay, then from 1 and 2, from equations 1 and 2, then epsilon naught epsilon r minus 1 into e is equal to n alpha e by 1 minus n alpha e by 3 epsilon naught. Okay, okay, then e term ని ఇటువైపు తీసుకుందాం 1 minus n alpha e by 3 epsilon naught is equal to n alpha e. So e cancel చేసేసి e both sides, left side hand side as well as right side of the equation, e gets cancelled with each other. Then 1 minus n alpha e ఇటువైపు తీసుకొస్తే then n alpha e by epsilon naught epsilon r minus 1. Okay, therefore 1 is equal to again మళ్ళీ term ని ఇటువైపు తీసుకో right side of the equation. Then 1 is equal to n alpha e by 3 epsilon naught plus n alpha e by epsilon naught into epsilon r minus 1. That is equal to n alpha e by epsilon naught, okay, 1 by 3 plus n alpha e by actually n alpha e by 3 epsilon naught. Otherwise n alpha e by epsilon naught common తీస్తే 1 by 3 plus 1 by epsilon r minus 1. Okay, epsilon r minus 1, that is equal to n alpha e by actually n alpha e by epsilon naught, then 1 by 3 plus 1 minus 1 by epsilon r minus epsilon. Then n alpha e by epsilon naught, so ఇక్కడ చూడండి epsilon r minus 1 into 3. So then ఇది ఈక్వేటింగ్ చేస్తే epsilon r plus 2 by epsilon r minus 1 వస్తుంది. So that means denominator లో epsilon r minus ఉంది కదా, so 1 into epsilon r minus 1 plus 2 into plus 3. Then equation ni equate చేస్తే then n alpha e by then again 3 epsilon naught common తీస్తే ఫైనల్ గా మనకి epsilon r plus 2 by epsilon r minus 1 ఉంటుంది. జస్ట్ డైరెక్ట్ స్టెప్ వేసేస్తారు ఇక్కడ. సో అంటే ఇక్కడ ఎంత వస్తుంది అంటే యాక్చువల్లీ n alpha e by actually ఇక్కడ epsilon naught epsilon r minus 1 into e by 3 epsilon naught e plus epsilon naught into epsilon r minus 1 into e వస్తుంది. దెన్ ఈక్వేటింగ్ ని మనం ఈ ఈక్వేషన్ ని ఫైనల్ గా ఇక్కడ నుండి డిరైవ్ చేస్తే ఫైనల్లీ ఎన్ ఆల్ఫా ఈ బై 3 ఎప్సిలాన్ నాట్ ఇంటూ ఎప్సిలాన్ ఆర్ ప్లస్ 2 బై ఎప్సిలాన్ ఆర్ మైనస్ 1 వస్తుంది. ఓకే, దేర్ ఫోర్ చూడండి ఈ టర్మ్ ని ఇటువైపు తీసుకొచ్చి దట్ ఈస్ ఎప్సిలాన్ ఆర్, ఇక్కడ ఏం లేదు కదా 1 కదా, దెన్ దీన్ని ఇటువైపుకి తీసుకొస్తే epsilon r plus 2 by epsilon r minus 1 ఉన్నది epsilon r minus 1 by epsilon r plus 2 that is equal to n alpha e by మా వినిపిస్తుంది కదా. epsilon r minus 1 by epsilon r plus 2 is equal to n alpha e by 3 epsilon naught, where n is the number of molecules per unit volume. Okay, where n is the number of molecules per unit volume. So this equation is called the Clausius-Mozarti equation. It relates the macroscopic dielectric constant with the microscopic polarization. Macroscopic dielectric constant, this one, with the microscopic polarization. This is enough. The above equation is known as Clausius-Mozarti equation. Using this relation, one can determine the value of alpha e, knowing the value of epsilon r of the medium. So epsilon r of the medium, ఏదైతే మీడియం యూజ్ చేస్తున్నామో అది తెలిస్తే then it is possible to calculate the electronic polarization. Along with elemental dielectrics, this equation is more suitable for gases and also for liquids. For crystalline solids, the interaction of the dipoles with each other produce polarization which are more complicated than those of our simple model, and this equation is not valid. Okay, so ఏం లేదు ఈక్వేషన్, జస్ట్ మనం let us consider the polarization, that is P is equal to n alpha EI. So substituting the local field in this above equation and modifying the above equation, you will get one equation, that is P is equal to n alpha E by 1 minus n alpha E. Now let us consider dielectric displacement, that is D is equal to P by epsilon naught E, and by substituting the values D is epsilon is equal to epsilon naught epsilon r, then you will get again one equation, and equating and modifying those two equations, then finally you will get one equation, that is epsilon r minus 1 by epsilon r plus 2 is equal to n alpha E by 3 epsilon. Okay, here n is the number of molecules per unit volume, alpha E is the electronic polarizability. Okay, epsilon naught is called the permeability of free space. Then substituting this and this equation gives the relation between dielectric constant and electronic polarizability. So this is macroscopic quantity and this is microscopic quantity. And Clausius-Mozarti equation relates macroscopic quantity with the microscopic quantity. Okay, now coming to dependence of electronic, ionic and orientation polarization or total polarization on temperature. So already you know that electronic polarization as well as ionic polarization both are temperature independent, whereas orientational polarization is temperature dependent. Okay, now coming to the dependence, now coming to derive the dependence of electronic, ionic and orientation polarization. Our total polarization or temperature. How the total polarization depends on temperature. Okay, in a material, so that is dependence of electron polarization, dependence of total polarization, or also it is called frequency dependence of polarizability. It is also called frequency dependence of polarizability. Okay, in a material, so in a material which can experience all forms of polarization, the total then the total polarizability is equal to the sum of the electronic, ionic and orientation polarizability. Suppose if the material experience all the three types of polarizations, those are electronic polarization, ionic polarization and orientation polarization, then the total polarizability of the material is the sum of three polarizations, that is alpha is equal to alpha E plus alpha I plus alpha O. Okay, suppose if the material exhibits all the three kinds of polarizations, then the total polarizability of the material is alpha is equal to alpha E plus alpha I plus alpha O. Then alpha E plus alpha I plus alpha O, mu square by 3 kt. Already we derived orientation polarization. For that equation is mu square by 3 kt. Okay, the total polarization, already you know the terms, you know the equations for alpha E plus alpha I also. That is for alpha E 4 pi epsilon naught r cube, and for alpha I e square by omega naught square into 1 by m plus 1 by small m. So substituting those values, then there is no problem. Okay, then the total polarization P may be expressed as P is equal to P plus Pi plus P naught. These are the polarizabilities. This is polarizability. Then the total polarization P may be expressed as P is equal to Pe plus Pi plus Pu. Therefore, the total polarization of a polar dielectric is therefore given by the total polarization of a polar dielectric is given by P is equal to N into alpha kada, then P is equal to N. Total three polarizabilities. Those are alpha E plus alpha I plus mu square by 3 kt into E. Okay, the total polarization of a polar dielectric is given by P is equal to, what is the equation for polarization? P is equal to N alpha. Here alpha is alpha E plus alpha I, sum of the three. Then substituting. P is equal to N into alpha E plus alpha I plus mu square by 3 kt into E. Then P by E. Okay, E ni left side తీసుకొస్తే P by E is equal to N into alpha E P by E is equal to N into alpha E plus alpha I plus mu square by 3 kt. Okay, and but we know that P is equal to, polarization P is equal to epsilon naught into epsilon r minus 1 into E. Okay, in terms of microscopic quantities, P is equal to epsilon naught into epsilon r minus 1 into E. This is the required equation for polarization. So that from this equation, P by E is equal to epsilon naught into epsilon r minus 1. Epsilon naught into epsilon r minus 1. Hence, the dielectric constant of a polar gaseous dielectric may be expressed as, so then equating these two, here P by E as well as here P by E. So equating these two equations. Hence, the dielectric constant of a polar gaseous dielectric may be expressed as epsilon naught into epsilon r minus 1 is equal to n into alpha E plus mu square by 3 kT. Okay, where alpha O is inversely proportional to the temperature, alpha E and alpha I, the electronic and ionic polarizabilities are independent of temperature. Okay, already చెప్పుకున్నాం కదా. ఇక్కడ చూడండి, alpha O is equal to mu square by 3 kT. Means orientational polarizability is inversely proportional to temperature. Whereas electronic and ionic polarizabilities are temperature independent. Those two are independent of temperature. If either the polarization P or the dielectric constant epsilon r is plotted as a function of 1 by T, a straight line will be obtained as shown in the figure 11. The intercept of the line with y-axis at 1 by T is equal to 0 gives the value of n into alpha E plus alpha I. These two are temperature independent, whereas alpha O is inversely proportional to temperature. Then if you draw a graph between the polarization or the dielectric constant epsilon r as a function of 1 by T, then a straight line will be obtained. So, chudandi. So see this. Epsilon naught into epsilon r minus 1 are polarization. If you draw a graph as a function of polarization versus this one, n into alpha E plus polarization versus 1 by T. 1 by T on x-axis and polarization on y-axis. Then you will get a straight line as a y-intercept. Okay, where here n into alpha E plus alpha I is temperature independent. Okay, it is temperature independent. So 1 by T is equal to 0 gives the value of this one, n into alpha E plus alpha I. Means this one here. Okay, and this gives the value of n into alpha E plus alpha I. Okay, whereas here this straight line gives the value of alpha O, orientational polarization. Okay, why? Because that is temperature dependent, whereas electronic and ionic polarizabilities both are temperature independent. So that at 1 by T at this one 1 by T is ikkadante there is no temperature. Okay, 1 by T is equal to 0, but there is some polarization is there. Okay, so that gives y-axis this value. So whereas 1 by T is equal to 0, or the y-intercept gives the value of n into alpha E plus alpha I. Okay. The dipole moment mu can be computed from the slope. Okay. So the dipole moment mu ante this one. Orientation polarization ఉంది కదా, this one can be obtained by plotting a slope, and the slope gives the value of n mu square by 3 kT. Okay, the dipole moment mu can be computed from the slope. It is possible that one or more contributions to the polarization may be either absent or negligible. Orientation polarization does not exist in non-polar dielectrics. Ionic polarization will not be found in covalently bonded materials. Electronic polarization will be negligible compared to orientation polarization in polar dielectrics. Okay, so the dipole moment mu can be obtained by plotting slope, and it is possible that one or more contributions to the polarization may be either absolute or negligible. Means only orientational polarization exists, and electronic as well as ionic polarization may be absent or negligible. Orientation polarization does not exist in non-polar dielectrics. Okay, if the material is polar dielectric material, then only orientation polarization exhibits. Okay, if the material is non-polar dielectric material, then that kind of material exhibits both electronic and ionic polarization. And ionic polarization will not be found in covalently bonded materials. Okay, only in that kind of materials, only electronic and orientation polarizations exist. Electronic polarization will be negligible compared to orientation polarization in polar dielectrics. Whereas in polar dielectrics, electronic polarization exists, but it is negligible compared to orientation polarization. Whereas in polar dielectrics. Now coming to frequency dependence of the polarizability. Frequency dependence of the polarizability. So the expression for total polarizability is, what is the expression for total polarizability is alpha is equal to alpha E plus alpha I plus alpha O. Okay, then alpha is equal to, what is alpha E? 4 pi epsilon naught r cube plus E square by omega O square into 1 by m plus 1 by small m plus mu square by 3 kBt. Okay, that is the expression for total polarizability of the material. Okay, when a dielectric is subjected to an alternating field, when a dielectric is subjected to an alternating field, the polarization components follow the field reversal at each change in the direction of the field. This affects the polarization which depend on the ability of dipoles to orient themselves in the field direction during each alternation of the field. On application of an electric field, any polarization process occurs as a function of time. The polarization at any time is given by P of t is equal to P naught into 1 minus exponential of minus t by tr, or otherwise tau anukunnam ikkada, t by tau. Okay, listen carefully. When a dielectric is subjected to an alternating field, the polarization components follow the field reversal at each change in the direction of the field. So alternating field means at each cycle the field changes its direction. This due to the field reversal at each half cycle, the direction of the field changes. This affects the polarization which depend on the ability of dipoles to orient themselves in the field direction during each alternation of the field. Okay, this affects the orientation. This affects the ability of the orientation of the dipoles themselves in the field direction during each half cycle. Okay, on application of an electric field, any polarization process occurs as a function of time. Okay, on the application of the electric field, Any polarization process, whatever it may be, electronic, ionic, or orientation polarization occurs as a function of time. ఓకే, సో సపోజ్ మనం ఫీల్డ్ అప్లై చేసాం అనుకోండి, సో ఫీల్డ్ అనేది గ్రాడ్యువల్ గా ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతూ ఉంటుంది, ఫీల్డ్ స్ట్రెంగ్త్. దెన్ వాట్ హ్యాపెన్స్, యాజ్ ఎ ఫంక్షన్ ఆఫ్ టైమ్ ద orientation process increase occurs. Okay, so the polarization at any time is given by p of t is equal to p naught into 1 minus exponential of minus t into tau. Okay, then where p is the, okay, not p naught అనుకోకపోయినా పర్వాలేదు, ఇక్కడ where p is the maximum polarization attained on prolonged application of a static field. ఇక్కడ మీ దగ్గర మెటీరియల్ ఉంటే p నాట్ అని రాసుకుందామా. p నాట్ అంటే ఓరియంటేషన్ పోలరైజేషన్ అనుకోకండి, దట్ ఈస్ ద మాక్సిమం polarization attained on prolonged application of a static field, and tau is the relaxation time. Here tau is the relaxation time for the particular polarization process. The relaxation time tau is a measure of the time scale of a polarization process. This is relaxation time is a measure of the time scale of polarization process. It is the time taken for a polarization process to reach 63% of the maximum value. This varies widely for different polarization processes. Okay, electronic polarization. Now coming to electronic polarization. Electronic polarization is extremely rapid even when the frequency of the applied voltage is very high in the optical range, that is 10 to the power, it is optical range means it is approximately equal to 10 to the power of 15 hertz. Electronic polarization occurs during every cycle of the applied voltage. Electronic polarization occurs during every cycle of the applied voltage. Now, electronic polarization. Electronic polarization is extremely rapid. Electronic polarization is extremely rapid even when the frequency of the applied voltage is very high in the optical range, that is also equal to 10 to the power of 15 hertz. Electronic polarization occurs during every cycle of the application, every cycle of the applied voltage. Now coming to ionic polarization. Ionic polarization is due to the displacement of ions over a small distance due to the applied field. Since ions are heavier than electron cloud, the time taken for displacement is larger. The frequency with which ions are displaced is of the same order as the lattice vibration frequency, that is 10 to the power of 13 hertz. This means that for optical frequency, the ions do not respond as the time required for lattice vibrations is nearly 100 times larger than the period of applied voltage at optical frequencies. Hence, at optical frequencies, there is no ionic polarization. If the frequency of the applied voltage is less than 10 to the power of 13 hertz, the ions respond. Hence, at 10 to the power of 13 hertz, we have both electronic polarization and ionic polarization responding. So ionic polarization is due to the displacement of ions over a small distance